it's Amy with Paper Moon Journals. Miles Beyond the Moon was taking a vacation on their shop, so there's no new inspiration there. I went back to some of the old inspiration I've got from them. I actually sold this one twice. I sold it, and then I had somebody make a custom order for one similar. I don't know if this is the same at all to what I did back then, because my style is constantly changing. But this one is covered with glitter, which I know wasn't part. I was very stingy with my glitter before. And then now I'm like on a mission to use up at least a bottle of glitter per project, often more. So here it is, Queen Bee Journal, inspired by a kit by Miles Beyond the Moon. I also used a kit by Sweet Pea Curiosities. You can see I just kind of cover up the mess on my desk when I do the videos with the doily table runner. So here's a look at everything inside. I also used some graphic 45 scrapbooking paper. These are cards that I had pre-made, like 50 of them. I've given them all out as gifts. I'm out of gifts right now for when people buy journals. I need to figure out some sort of craft or project to make and stash up. I do have some really nice gem top pens that I throw in with journals. Sometimes I make magnets. But we're getting all kinds of ephemera. I had a special kit. I want to say it was a Leanna scrap kit maybe, that had tons of the bee ephemera that I added to the Miles Beyond the Moon kit. I love the way it comes with fussy cuts. So I layered out some of my favorite tags that I make with my tab top punch. I cut 2.5-inch strips off of the cardstock when I go to make the cover. So that makes 2 tags right there. So there's 2 black ones, and then, I just save them up. So I think there's two black collage tags and 2 cream colored ones, maybe more. I like little envelopes stuffed with things. And everything's been backed onto other cards, so it has a really great feel. Again, on this one I used lots of my favorite black elaborate lace, so it's black and yellow themed. And then I had these beautiful bee themed charms, like bee, honeycombed. So they're all perfectly coordinated set of jewelry grade charms. There's 10 of them. I can't recall, I want to say this has 104 pages. But it's just as fat with all the ephemera as the ones that are 200 pages. It's filling that 3-inch spine with no problem. The bows, the lace, all the decoration. I've gone back and added flat backs to the different pockets, which are a little bit hard to see. I added flat backs inside. Like I said, lots of glitter, sari silk ribbon bows. And the ephemera is so sweet. And there's enough in here. You could use it to do collage spreads or to make more pockets or tuck spots, like with my other journals. I like to use them to keep my favorite sentiments, to type them up, print them out, and paste them in, or write them in if I feel like I'm having a good day. I can see I'm losing my Band-Aid in the video, but I don't really mess with it until later. As part of my treatment, my skin has gotten really weak. And if I just bump my wrist into something, like reaching into the cabinet for something, if I bump the upper shelf, it'll tear my skin. So I did eventually replace the Band-Aid after the video. I hope that doesn't annoy you. But yeah, almost every one of the Fussy Cut Bee Girls has been glittered up. Every one of the cards that was from Sweet Pea, like this one, has had glitter added. And then several of the other pages have had glitter added. So I really go through the glitter on these. And I mentioned it before, I didn't get any feedback. Maybe nobody made it that far into the video, but I was thinking about selling these as a kit, just making the cover, sewing in all the pages, maybe adding the pockets, maybe just providing a certain number of pre-made pockets and belly bands and things, fussy cut out all the fussy cuts, provide those in an envelope, provide stack of envelopes, stacks of different types of ephemera, exactly everything that I would use. But instead of adding the pockets, filling the pockets, and doing all the glitter and adding all the lace, I would send you a kit. I often start with this bag of scrap lace that I have, so I could send like this giant bag of lace that's scrap-sized pieces, but their scraps are big enough to use and work in the journals. enough for, you know, the project that I'd send, and then some. Then I'd send some sari silk ribbon. I'd put, you know, eyelets and the ribbon closure on the cover. Include some pre-made tags with my tag top punch that were ready for layering up and making layered tags. Maybe even throw in just a couple, you know, pre-made something to get you going. Yeah, so anyways, let me know what you think about that idea about sending a kit. Maybe just throwing you a bottle of Stickles glitter, all the ephemera pockets and stuff, and then you can spend a week decorating and filling the pockets and decorating the pages with lace and glitter and engage yourself that way. There was an empty pocket there, so we just took care of that. Here's another one of the bee charms. A lot of them have little glitter and sparkle faux gems on their wings. And again, there's honeycomb and honey pot and all kinds of really neat ephemera in here. I'll go ahead and put on some plinky music while you watch the rest of it. Hopefully you find this inspiring, and can't wait for Miles Beyond the Moon to come back from vacation. I have a couple more projects. I have another one that just finished. I was working on glittering this one and another one at the same time. That's why they seem to be done so close together, is because I'll spend so long working on more than one at a time. And then eventually they both hit the glitter stage at the same time. One's almost done with glittering, like this one was, and then the other one was, you know, like 2/3 done, and I finished adding glitter to that one yesterday. It's an ocean theme journal. Also a Miles Beyond the Moon kit. I think it's called Starbird, something like that. And that one came out amazing. Like, I love this one. I love that one. It'll take me some time to get that one filmed and everything as my treatment continues. So, yeah, doing okay. Again, it didn't exacerbate my pre-existing conditions, which was my main concern. And, yeah, if I could sleep past 3 a.m., that would be a blessing. I'm often down here editing these videos at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning after I get the dog up and get, you know, let him outside and fed and everything. Then I take off and go down to my office, which is on our property. If you need any bookkeeping or taxes, you know, I'm definitely could use the business. When I got sick during the month of April, there must have been like 15, 16 new clients that are all my neighbors, and they would have shown up, you know, that I lost out on. And then any of my existing clients, those last minute people that I tell don't wait till last minute, you know, they had to go someplace else. Only 2 or 3 went on extension on their own, and then when I got better were available for me to file the return. There were only 2 people where I had their stuff and then got sick and couldn't finish it, because literally I left work one day expecting to return. I had bills to pay. I had finished all the work on my desk, you know, and was waiting for more work to come in. Went to bed and then didn't get out of bed for over a week. I woke up so sick, you know, and then after about a week ended up in the ER and so on and so forth. But like I said, I've changed doctors. And at least at the start, he's starting with a cautious approach. I just don't trust those doctors. You never know. They can turn on a dime. I'm hoping he'll continue to be cautious and collaborative and not turn into a drill sergeant like the last guy. So, you know, fingers crossed and praying for that. Really a lot of prayers and what's that song? You know, where you take your hands off the wheel and just let God steer. Trying to do more of that. I'm really a planner. I guess we're not going to get any music this time. We're just going to get my chatter. I like to plan. I like to organize. We have a lot of stuff that needs planning and managing as a result of my illness. You know, some real severe financial difficulties. But since I'm not at my best, dealing with things that are extremely stressful, you know, like we need to file bankruptcy. We have a huge hospital bill that's been hanging over us and threatening to lien our house and things like that. Unfortunately, there's now a line of credit cards that I owe money. Once the business suffered so poorly in April, bookkeeping was really my bread and butter, and I lost all but one of my payroll clients, bookkeeping and payroll clients, because they needed work and I was out for like 3 weeks. So I'm down to like 3 clients. Where at one point I had like 35 before I got sick. I was down to like 12. I think I'm down to 3 bookkeeping clients. Those people who went on extension that are occasionally turning up that were unaffected by me being sick in April, because I put them on extension before that. They knew they weren't going to be ready in April. So, occasionally one of those people show up, and that's helping out. People buying from my Etsy shop has been a godsend. Our food stamps accidentally expired. I don't know why. My social worker, I've sent her 2 renewal packets. And so that's really hurting. So thanks to everybody for at least checking this out, finding some inspiration. Prayers to you all. Everybody's going through something. I know I'm not alone. And now you know you're not alone either. Please have a beautiful day, and check out this journal if you can. If it's in your budget, it would really make my day.